What's up, everybody? It's Halo coming at you with a new YouTube video. And today I just honestly wanted to be real about like my life experiences and just the things that I've learned recently. I feel like it's really vital, at least for me, to just take a step back and live a little life before I come back and like share my own personal message and just things that like I've learned in my journey. So yeah, just wanted to like kind of highlight some things I've learned, but also just talk about things that have occurred in my life because I'm a person. I'm a fucking person. Like, I'm a human. Shit happens to me like it does with everybody else. And so if you're going through it right now, just know that you're not alone. Yeah, without further ado, here is the video. Okay, so the first thing I would have to say I've learned is rest. The importance of rest. I absolutely used to suck at giving myself breaks, giving myself time to just like sit down and ground myself, especially just with the Trump administration and capitalism and all of that shit. I feel like it's really hard to just like forgive yourself for not being super productive and pedal to the metal all the time. It's like sometimes you truly need to sit the fuck down and just rest. Personally, some ways I've been kind of forcing myself to rest is like doing something with my hands. So I've been like knitting. This is something I'm going to talk about later. It's like hobbies and stuff. But knitting, just doing stuff that I can do in the bed, like watching TV, but maybe like writing something out or writing a poem or making a song. I love making songs right now. It's so fun. It's frustrating, but it's fun. That's what I'm telling myself. But yeah, those are just some of the things that I like to do, to just try and like kind of get myself to just sit down, because I can do a million things at once without even recognizing it. I'm a productive type of person. I love going out and I love building community and just talking to people and like just doing the most. So one thing that I've truly learned is that when you are not in the mental space to expand yourself, it's okay to retract. I hate people that have loud ass cars. Like, why do you feel the need? Why do you feel the need? Anyways, like I was saying, shit, I can't remember what I was saying. Damn it. I feel like it's really important to just sit down and do nothing every now and again. Capitalism, everybody around you, hustle culture tells you, fuck your feelings, get this shit done. You know what I mean? I feel like that's something that I'm still trying to recalibrate in my own mind, is I don't have to get into hustle culture. That's not how I want my life to go. People that want to hustle for what they want, cool, fine by me. But personally, I have a chronic illness. I've been through a lot of things. I enjoy a soft, easy life. Not trad wife shit. Don't come up on here thinking I'm talking about just at peace, chilling, doing my own thing, going to work, you know, chill. Saying all that to say, resting is extremely important. And especially if you're a woman or you are someone that is feminine presenting or just has a vagina, anybody that has a vagina, if you follow your cycle with the times when you're productive versus when you're not, you are going to have such a better time in life. Like capitalism, all of these systems in place are based on the patriarchy and they're based on men and how men can be productive. I feel like it's really important to hone into yourself and remember that these systems are not made for you. And so instead of trying to fit yourself into those systems, create a new path. And I feel like that's what I'm doing for myself, especially in my own line of work. I'm a scientist, so I love research, I love stuff like that. And just being able to kind of build my own schedule based off of how I'm feeling, it does me wonders. And don't get me wrong, there are going to be times where you have anxiety or you're like, oh, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And that's just something that you have to learn to train your mind into not believing, because you are truly meant to get more rest. I feel like it's very vital to try your best. I'm not saying you have to be perfect or just quit your job or some shit. Like, obviously take this with discernment, but try your best to just give yourself more restful days rather than, pedal to the metal, trying to be productive all the time. And that goes for anybody, but obviously, especially people with vaginas. Just saying. Another thing that's very, very vital that I have learned is community. You cannot expect to get over any mental disorder by being by yourself. That's probably why you developed the mental disorders in the first place. And this isn't to blame you or to say like, do better. It's more just saying, find support. Get people to kind of help you along with life. It's really hard to just operate in a state of mind where like you're just on go. You know what I mean? You're on go. You're not really connecting with other people. You're just so tunnel visioned on what you want to do, but you're not incorporating other people into your life. That can be very lonely, and it can be really hard to give yourself empathy because you're the only person that you're really with. You know what I mean? You know how good you could be, and I feel like that's something that I've had to learn. Is to be around people and like be vulnerable with people as well, that show that they care about me and they want me to feel good about myself. That's really, really vital. And there's been a lot of debates lately over community and how Gen Z is like really bad friends and stuff like that. And I feel like I agree. I feel like there is a slight inconvenience that comes with being sociable, and that's just the reality. There is a slight inconvenience to having to get out of your bed and go to an event for somebody. There is a slight inconvenience with not just being able to do whatever the fuck you want to do throughout the day and have to be considerate of other people, but it's so vital in order to actually upkeep community. Now, I'm not saying that you have to tolerate people that are disrespectful to you, or you need to just be bringing anybody along. Absolutely not. And I feel like that's important as well to note, that you don't just need to latch on to everybody just to have community. But you have to put yourself out there. You can't expect to like find friends by just being online. Online friends are fun, online friends are great, but it's not a real genuine connection where you're like sitting in front of that person and like y'all are taking in each other's energies and stuff like that. So I feel like that's very vital to have in your life. It's just friends, family members, people that care about you, talking to you. And like I said, all of these things are things that I've learned. So I am a loner, hard R. I am a loner. I love just being tucked up, doing my own shit, not really talking or being around other people. And I've had to learn lately that community takes more than just that. And like I said before, that doesn't mean just allowing anybody into my community or anybody into my circle, because there's some people that just simply don't deserve that because of whatever reasons. But at the same time, I'm still making an effort with the people that I do fuck with to reach out to say, hey, how you doing? How you feeling? And just be there for people, because people need that. People need someone. People just need each other, but we all need somebody that's just gonna come in and check on us and be like, hey, how you doing? Need to talk? Or just a quick check-in. It doesn't really do much. And I feel like I've been holding myself accountable to that as well, especially with my grandparents and people back at home, because I care about those relationships, I care about those people, and I want to show them that I do. I don't just want to think, you know what I mean? So yeah, building community, it can be scary. It can absolutely be scary, but you also have to just put yourself in those spaces. You know what I mean? You have to put yourself in those spaces no matter what comes up and no matter what occurs. So the next thing that I would definitely learn is how important it is to have hobbies. This is kind of what I said beforehand, but having hobbies is really vital. You need to be able to be creative. I feel like it just helps to express your emotions into something. And when I say you need to be able to be creative, this doesn't mean you have to be Picasso or you have to fucking draw this hyper realistic painting of an eye. I'm saying just get a coloring book. Just color some stuff in. just doodle on the page. You know, take pictures, do things that don't really require your mind to be on overdrive, because you have, like I said before with the resting, you have to be able to fluctuate between giving yourself time to rest and just be creative and kind of just create, do whatever you want to, while also balancing just responsibilities that you need to get you further along to where you want to go. I feel like constantly being like responsibility, that is strenuous and it's not sustainable. You may think it's sustainable, but it will come a time where it starts to catch up with you and then you will burn out. And let me tell you something, burning out is not fun. I can't stand it. I feel like, especially with me graduating as a senior in chemistry, I ain't never been this burnt out in my life. I feel like it's hard for me to even do anything. And especially just with Trump making his stupid ass executive orders and messing up my job opportunities, it can be really hard to just like give myself rest, because I'm just like, nah, I gotta stay locked in. And not to say that you aren't locked in, but there should be a balance. There's times when you're locked in, there's times when you need a break, sit down, you know. I've done various internships in my time, and there was a time where I was actually under a medical student, and the one thing that they always told me is you need rest and you need glucose. She was like, you don't need anything else in this world but rest and glucose. And it was just a joke, because obviously you need more, but those are the two vital things. You need to be eating, and you need to be resting, because you are a human, you are a person. You know, I feel like sometimes, especially in America, especially with everything that's happening right now, you can feel almost like a robot and disconnected with your body, and just like so up in your mind that you're not bringing it back down, and feeling your emotions and being honest with how you feel. Saying all that to say, having hobbies and being creative kind of allows you to redirect all that energy back into your body. I love painting. I love painting. I think in my last video I showed one of my paintings, but I love painting for this because 9 times out of 10 I'll have an idea of what I want to put on the canvas, and I'll just try my best to recreate what I thought in my head, and most of the time it comes out better than what I even imagined. So it's like it gives me a second to just be like, okay, I just want to paint lips, I just want to paint an eye, I just want to draw this face, I want to do a continuous drawing where I don't lift my pencil up from the paper. And it doesn't have to look good, it just has to be made, it just has to be created. That's really the only criteria. And the more that you make it, and the more that you understand the skill that comes with whatever you're trying to make, whether it's painting, drawing, sketching, photography, all of those things, you'll realize that you actually get better, you get more detailed, and you start to remember, oh, this is like lights and shadow, and this is what makes the picture pop a little bit more. Or oh, you know, you just develop a lot of different skills surrounding what you're doing, but you first have to start. You can't be like, oh, I'm not like them, I can't paint, that's just not for me. I hate when people say that. Stop saying that you are not creative. You are creative, you're just not tapped into it. Do these things to help you regulate your emotions, not to produce off of it. And yes, I know that it can be really hard to have a hobby and not immediately want to capitalize off of it just because of all the bullshit that we're being put through. But even if you do capitalize off of your hobby, make sure you have one that is just for you, not for anybody else, not for the capital of anybody else. Just some stuff that's for you, that isn't for sale, that isn't to just mass produce to everybody else, because I feel like that is what takes your joy out of it. That's what takes the relaxation out of it. And that's something that I've even told myself. Like I said, I like to knit, and I've been knitting like sweaters, cardigans, things like that. I'm not personally right now, I'm not opening that up to anybody else, because I just want to make things for myself. I just want it to remain a hobby that's for me, you know. Last thing that I want to say is self-care and redirecting your thoughts. I feel like self-care is very vital, and I don't mean the people that are making self-care their entire life, where they're putting on face masks for hours at a time and not going outside and just like doing the UV lamp rather than just sitting in the sun. Not that. I mean like going on a walk, or think of yourself as somebody that just needs to be outside. If you don't want to think of yourself as an animal, think of yourself as a plant. Like, we need the sunlight. We need oxygen, not the stale air that we're breathing in our apartments or houses or anything. We need to be able to interact with the outdoors just as much as we are indoors, especially if you're in a temperate type of climate. Spring is amongst us, okay? The sun is out, there's no excuses. Beforehand, winter, ain't nobody want to go outside, perfectly fine. But now it's like, this is how you kind of kick that seasonal depression off of you. You gotta start going outside, interacting with the world, you know, and not being so cooped up in the house. When it's a sunny day, be like, you know what, at this time, I'm gonna go on a walk. Don't just say you wanna do it, plan it. I'm gonna get up at this time and actually do it. Don't just plan and then sit in your bed, be like, oh, I'm gonna do it at this time. And then 3 o'clock rolls around. You're like, oh, I'll do it at 3:05. Then 3:05 rolls around. You're like, oh, I'll do it at 3:30. And the time just keeps pushing down, down, down until it's dark. And now you're like, well, I can't go outside, it's dark. It's like, you gotta hold yourself accountable. Go outside and it will feel so much better. And then you don't have to run a fucking marathon. And like I'm saying, I feel like I'm talking to my past self when I make this video. Like, it doesn't have to be drastic. It doesn't have to be something crazy. You don't have to run a fucking marathon, like I said. You can literally sit outside, take a little walk around your neighborhood if it's safe. If not that, maybe catch the metro somewhere. Obviously, I'm talking to DMV people, or get in your car somewhere, do that. Or just sit on your porch. There's so many different ways that you can interact with it outdoors, especially in the daytime. Don't nothing be happening for real. You gotta tread a little lightly sometimes. But for the most part, just go outside. Just do it. It's gonna be okay, I promise. But it will help you a lot. And there's so many vital just vitamins that we can get just by being outside in the sun. So easy on you. You're not taking manufactured vitamin D because you're outside and you're letting the sun beam on you, and that's really nice. Yeah, so go outside. That's one thing of self-care that I would recommend. And obviously taking care of your body however you can. Trying not to consume hella sugary ass drinks, sugary ass foods, things like that. Just basic health stuff. You don't have to be OD with it. You do not have to look like a bobblehead to be healthy, okay? Healthy means you are consuming things that are nutritious for your body, and you're getting out and you're moving, okay? You don't have to be on a 12-step Korean regimen, okay? You don't have to. That's what I'm saying. You can do whatever you want, but you don't have to do it in order to be healthy. So yes, go outside, do what you need to do as far as getting your health together. If you are able to, if you have the privilege to, go to a doctor, go to therapists. If you have the privilege to access those resources, utilize it. That is something I've been telling myself. Utilize your resources during this time, because life is hard. Life is hard. And if the one things that you can actually control in your life is helping better you, better your mental, better your emotions, and better just your regulation in general, that's what you need to be doing, okay? And lastly, like I said before, just redirecting your thoughts. I'm not saying that you have to just siren. But yeah, redirecting your thoughts. I'm not saying that you have to have this false positivity where everything's okay and nothing ever goes wrong. Absolutely not. But you don't have to sit in that depression either. You don't have to sit in that negativity and cynicalism, honestly. I don't think I said that right, but I think y'all know what I'm talking about. But you don't have to sit in that. It's not about how you feel in the moment. It's about what you do with that feeling. And that's one thing that I've been trying to just tell myself in my head when I'm upset, when I'm down. and it's been helping me a lot. So if it can help any of you, please, please, please take that advice. Take it where it resonates. Everybody is different, of course. We're all going through different things. So with that, peace and love. That is like my favorite phrase to say now. My weightlifting professor says that he always ends class with saying peace and love, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so nice. So yeah, peace and love. I hope everybody is just hanging in there and still trying best to, regulate rest and being productive and still going after their dreams and doing what they want. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.